Lucas, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He is a 7 times world record holding skydiver, motivational author, and of course, entrepreneur. No other than Mr. Bryan Gile.
Thank you for introducing me, Daniel. Thank you for having me.
Welcome, Mr. Bryan on Book 101 Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Yeah. Well, you got it pretty close. As of last Friday, I became an 8-time world record holding
Eight
professional
times.
skydiver. Yeah, we
Wow.
just broke a world record in Chicago, outside of Chicago, Illinois, for the largest upside down, kind of head down formation ever built. We did 174 people jumping out of 9 different aircraft. So I've been a skydiver for a very long time, but no stranger to entrepreneurship as well.
Mr. Bryan Gile, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. And today, let's talk about your debut book, Be Great, Be Happy. What inspired you to write this book, and why focus on these three simple steps?
Yeah, so that actually dates back to the very first skydiving record I ever participated in 2012. Largest formation at that time, it was 138 people. And when I finished setting that record with the rest of the team on it, I got home back to San Diego, and I really sat down and thought about, how can I be having so much success in one area of my life, skydiving, while at the same time I was struggling quite a bit as an entrepreneur to really, break out and hit the income goals that I wanted to. So I meditated a lot on it. I was meditating quite a bit at the time. And what I figured out was that I had a certain mindset in skydiving that I definitely didn't have as an entrepreneur. I had no fear. I had no doubt. And I don't mean fear in terms of jumping out of an airplane. I had no fear in terms of failing at my goals. And I had no doubt that I would succeed in achieving them. And that has today brought me to be an 8-time world record holding athlete. But at the age of 28, I did not have that same subconscious belief in my abilities as an entrepreneur. I really wanted to be successful in business. I wanted to, not necessarily live paycheck to paycheck with the normal 9 to 5 grind that a lot of us are stuck in. But I didn't have the full conviction in my ability to succeed in business that I had in skydiving until I realized that that's what was missing. And once I realized that I lacked that, I sat down and thought about how can I synthetically recreate a mindset of complete unbridled self-belief and install that in an area of life where I don't have it. That's where these 3 steps came into place.
Can you briefly explain the three key steps outlined in your book?
Yeah. So for any goal that you have in the world, you're going to have thoughts about it. You're going to have beliefs about it. And those thoughts and beliefs need to be of a positive nature. Okay. So step 1, if you say that you want to write a book, if you say that you want to live learn a foreign language, start a business, lose weight, start recognizing the types of thoughts that you're having about your goals. Just rank them positive or negative. And this is easy to do by something that I call thought scanning. You kind of just scan your thoughts in the background as you go on day by day. You don't take any hours or minutes a day to do this. You do it in the background. And as you're experiencing thoughts or right after you've experienced some, if you notice that they're of a negative nature, especially towards your goals, towards your desires, take note of that, recognize that. So that's step 1. Start to recognize the dialogue that's going on in your mind. Step 2, don't worry about stopping those thoughts. Instead, understand that you just don't have to believe them because you choose whether you want to believe a thought or not. Okay, it's up to you. You can have a thought that says you're going to be a big, huge failure and you'll never accomplish XYZ. And you can experience that, but not fully believe in it. And when you don't believe in a negative thought, you deny it its power. So we're going to learn how to transform those negative thoughts to positive thoughts, which is step 2, transform via a mantra. Essentially, when you've had a negative thought, let's think about, give me a goal that you have, Daniel. Is there anything that you're working on in life right now?
Well, I want my podcast to be number one on the
World,
Apple chart.
world number 1 podcast. So that's
Yes.
a big goal. Okay. And that's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of effort, but more than anything, it's going to take a lot of belief, right?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
So when you're going through your day-by-day actions to get to that world number 1 spot, 1, recognize whether you experience fear or doubt towards taking actions that would propel you towards your goal. Once you recognize a negative thought, step 2, I use a mantra. Okay. Now, a
Yes.
mantra is just a series of words that are meant to bestow like a healing power in the Eastern philosophies. For our concept, this is just going to act as a reminder. It's going to be a reminder for you, for myself, for us all to think positively towards our goals so that we can unlock action, which is the next step. My mantra, whenever I'm pursuing a goal and I feel myself kind of doubting it, is happy, healthy, wealthy, humble, loved. It's just 5 words. They're pretty basic. They're things that I am, things that I want to be. There's nothing magical about them, but it acts as a reset, like a vibe reset. So when I'm experiencing a negative thought that would hold me back from taking action towards my goals or towards your goal of achieving your number 1 podcast, interrupt that thought pattern with a mantra to transform the vibe of that thought. Next, step 3, it's all about action, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. You can think positively all you want. You can focus on your goals and your dreams all you want. But if you're not taking daily consistent actions, then you're not going to conquer them. You don't climb over a mountain by looking at it, right? So after we've transformed our thoughts, we're going to take immediate action, because this is really the number 1 trait that anyone listening to this podcast, if you have any goals in life, the number 1 trait that successful people have is taking immediate action on their ideas. They don't wait for tomorrow. They don't start scrolling through social media for 3 hours after they've had $1 million idea. They focus, right? And they
Yes.
get to work on it.
Mhm.
So those are the 3 steps: recognize, transform, act. And when you live this system, these become micro habits. These become mental habits that allow you to unlock the physical habits towards achieving your goals, which are not on a day-by-day basis. If you're trying to achieve something great and you're focusing on a day-by-day approach, in my opinion, you're going at it the wrong way. You need to focus on a second by second, a minute by minute approach. How are you taking action in the smallest portions of time that you have control of? And can you improve your habits within those areas? These 3 steps will essentially train you to think and act like the most successful people in the world who do crush their goals, because this is what they do just naturally. They might not think about it, but this is how they operate.
Mr. Bryan, how does happiness tie into achieving greatness and success?
Burnout. Okay. If you're
Mhm.
not happy, eventually you're going to burn out. Imagine a
Yes.
fire that is burning extremely hot. Okay. Eventually it's going to run out of a fuel source, right? And then that fire will, as big as it once was, will diminish and go out. Okay.
Yes.
Happiness, being happy to your core and being fulfilled in your entire life, outside of your goals, outside of the money you want to make or the career you want to have, is really your reason for waking up in the morning and going to bed with a smile on your face at night. And that fuels you on the long days. It fuels you when things aren't necessarily going your way, when you've had a bad week, you didn't get the results that you wanted on, the last thing that you were trying to do for your business, for your life, cultivating inner happiness allows you to step back, refuel, take a big deep breath and say, okay, tomorrow's another day. Maybe I didn't hit my goal this week, but at least I feel good. And that helps me take more action tomorrow.
Why do you think so many people struggle with setting and achieving goals, and how does your book address that?
I would say most humans want results now. We all do. I can be guilty of that at times for sure. I'm sure you've ever, wanted results faster than they came, and
Yes.
especially, it's natural, especially with the technology that we have today, and everything is at our fingertips. You can order something on Amazon, and it's to your door in 24 to 48 hours. Humans really expect big change right now. The biggest thing that someone can do to improve their lives and hit their goals that they're going for is really zoom out and be patient by celebrating the small wins. You want to celebrate your small victories and really own those. And when you zoom out, your giant goal that you're pursuing is nothing more than a marathon of small victories that help you cross the finish line.
On success and goal achievement, what's the biggest misconception people have about achieving success, Mr. Bryan?
The biggest misconception people have about achieving success. Hmm. That's going to be broad. That's going to change for really everyone. Image, money, financial pursuits are typically what people think of when they do think of success. And I would say going for too much, shooting for too much success. Some people try to overachieve in order to fill their happiness and fill their happy cup, really only to find that they're making themselves unhappy by chasing an amount of success that they themselves don't actually want, but that other people have, and they expect themselves to reach that same level. Does that make sense? Essentially
Makes sense.
comparing yourself to others.
Makes sense, Mr. Bryan. And how do you define success in your book, and why is that definition important?
Well, for goal achievement, success is really just defined as what is your goal. Okay, so be specific, and this is something that I'm continually working on. I've achieved a lot of goals in my life. I'm still achieving others, and really when I'm actively feeling successful, it's because I'm knocking out my small goals. Okay, what are the small goals that you can stack up which will eventually lead to your big goal? Remember, the big goal is nothing more than a series of small goals. So for me, success is a continued day by day amount of progress. And actually, I've heard that people feeling fulfilled is based on just one simple thing. Did you progress in your goal today? No matter how big, no matter how little, at the end of the day, do you feel like you moved one step forward to your final goal?
Mr. Bryan, what's one practical strategy from your book that listeners can apply immediately to move closer to their goals?
I got something fun for you. It's called continual focus. And I'm going to guess that most people have not heard about this before, or if they've heard about it, they've been maybe misled into thinking that this is just visualization. All right. This is something that every millionaire in the world does. This is something that every professional athlete in the world does. This is something that the best chefs, the best artists, the best musicians in the world do. Here's how to become above average, excellent, or world class. Or here's one skill that all of those people implement. You really have to live in kind of like a daydreaming state of your goal. So, for instance, let's say that You want your podcast to become world number one. While you're in the shower, while you're making breakfast, while you're driving, you want your thoughts to drift and focus around your goal right there. You really want to live as someone who is a podcaster, not someone who thinks about podcasting sometimes and then fully 100% disconnects from it at all points in time outside of that. Let me give you an example. I'm going to go to sports because being an athlete, this is an easy picture to paint. Let's say you want to improve at any sport and you go to class on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. When you're in class, you focus really hard. You're giving it everything. You put yourself on the line. You're fully committed. You're training hard. But on the days you're not in class, which is another 4 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, if you completely disconnect from thinking and imagining yourself improving at small areas of your sport, but it could also be music, it could also be your business for sure. You're spending over half the week not focused on your goal. Okay?
Yes.
Don't discount the mental energy that you can pour into your goal when you're not physically doing it. That is what the camera can never see in an athlete, but they all do it. That is the musician who they're not on stage playing their instrument. They're in their kitchen with their fingers around an imaginary instrument, an imaginary guitar, but they can feel the guitar in their hands, even though it's not there.
Very well said, Mr. Bryan. Very well said indeed. And tell us, as a world record holding skydiver, motivational author, and entrepreneur, what are your short term and long term goals?
Short-term goals is to sell a lot of books and really just get out there and further my speaking career, be on more podcasts. Longer term goals are building out a coaching career as well, with all of the information in this book, helping people achieve their goals and dreams, specifically in entrepreneurship and business. And just making an impact on the world and helping people be great and be happy.
Be happy indeed. And good luck to your goals. And looking forward for more success, Mr. Bryan. And what will be your piece of advice for those people out there want to be like you?
Recognize thoughts that are holding you back. Rank them as positive or negative. All of your thoughts. Start scanning your thoughts all day long. Recognize the positive ones. Really recognize the negative ones. Transform negative thinking that is slowing you down from achieving your goals. You don't have to stop the negative thoughts. Just realize that you don't have to believe them. And you can go down a rabbit hole researching deeper into that. Once you've transformed a thought with a mantra, take immediate action towards a list of small goals and then repeat that. When you do this week after week, year after year, you are going to hit your goals. You will become above average. This is a very above average way to act. And when you act in above average manners, you can expect above average results.
Thank you for that advice, Mr. Bryan. And can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Yeah, Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth, was really a book that opened my eyes very wide. That would be crucial reading, I would say, for anyone really wanting to dive into the nature of their thoughts and their beliefs and how to overcome beliefs that are holding you back, find deeper happiness. I would totally recommend A New Earth.
Recommended indeed. And thank you for that recommended book, Mr. Bryan. And if someone could take away just one lesson from your book, what would you want it to be?
Recognize, transform, act. That's it. 3 simple steps to achieving your goals and creating a better life.
A better life for sure. So, what do you think resilience is such an important factor in success?
Well, resilience is essentially the ability to never give up. Okay. You are going to be hit with, and an infinite amount of obstacles and hurdles to overcome on your way to any worthwhile goal, whether it's graduating school or whether it's starting a business, you name it. You won't achieve your goal tomorrow. It will be at some point, maybe far off in the future. And there's going to be a lot of hard days. Okay. There's going to be days where your motivation feels low. Understand that that's natural. That's okay. What you want to get used to is planning on experiencing those down moments and reacting in an above average manner by keeping yourself motivated and going forward. That's what these three steps are designed to do. They're designed for the days where you're talking yourself down from achieving your goal and how to rewire that mindset. This is actually a way to rewire your brain.
Indeed. It's about time to rewire your brain. People for success. Can you share a time when you have faced failure and how you bounce back using your own methods?
Totally. So, when I was 28, I was trying to start online businesses and also sell ebooks. And at this moment, it's really when I discovered this three-step system. But, since we've already covered that, let's cover what this system really addresses. And it's something called your inner critic. Okay. Your inner critic is the internal dialogue that tells you that an idea that you have isn't going to work out. It tells you that you won't be able to achieve this goal, that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not whatever enough. The inner critic is a voice that brings you down. And you want to expect on your goal journey to encounter that voice. And if you lean into it, if you accept what it says as true, your momentum is going to get pulled down just like gravity back to earth. But your success is up in the sky, it's up in the clouds. And you need to maintain lift every single day to get yourself up and up and up to that goal. The only thing that will keep you from it is an inner dialogue that tells you to give up. And let me just say real quick, not everyone is going to succeed at every goal. And I'm not saying that here's a system for you to succeed at every goal. Here's a system for anyone to succeed at any potential goal, but your life, you're going to go after many goals. And it's not about just achieving one or the other. Zoom out and think about the entirety of everything that you're going to try to accomplish over the decades you'll be on this planet. Operate in a system that controls your thoughts and actions so that you can capture the majority of these goals.
Very well said, Mr. Bryan, and empowering indeed. And before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too, comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well, geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast law 101 and mental health 101 love letters in third season, and movie 101 review and music 101 in fourth season, and science 101 and sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Mr. Bryan, do you have any upcoming projects or follow-ups to this book that listeners or viewers should know about?
Yeah, I'll be launching a coaching program over the next couple months here, which people will be able to check into on my TikTok. You can find me on TikTok at something like Bryan Gile Official, or at Bryan Gile Official. So if you'd like any coaching on achieving goals, whether that's in entrepreneurship, whether that's in weight loss, whether that's in becoming a world record skydiver, I've got answers for you.
Yes, people. Let's support Mr. Bryan Gile. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your book, your advocacy, your business, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Mr. Bryan, can you please invite our listeners to support all your advocacy?
I would love your support. Thank you.
Yes, people. So where do people reach you?
You can reach me at my website, bryangile.com, or also at begreatbehappy.com.
Be great, be happy, people. Yes, let's support Mr. Bryan Gile because if you support him, for sure, more and more empowering books to come, more and more empowering coaching to come, and for sure, more empowering business to come. So, Mr. Bryan, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much for having me, Daniel.
More to come, people. See you soon.